What a start to the season for Manchester City. In the Premier League alone, 8 games, 6 wins, 2 draws. Both those draws against good sides, Arsenal and Newcastle. And we're 1 point off the top of the Premier League. Obviously, Liverpool are ahead of us by a singular point, but I think we've had far tougher fixtures. Obviously, they did very well to beat Chelsea yesterday. But for me, I think we've started better than Liverpool. In the Champions League, 2 unbeaten games again. A draw against Inter Milan, a win away at Slovan Bratislava, and we've started really, really well. Now, there's people that are going to start throwing crazy things around like, can City go invincible? Stuff like that. I don't think we can. I personally don't think we can go invincible. Yes, after 8 games, that's just under a quarter of the season gone. We haven't lost a game. We've won 6, drawn 2, as I said. But for me, going invincible, it requires a lot more strategy. You have to actually go for an invincible season, in my opinion, in the modern game. Arsenal, when they went invincible, had 26 wins and 12 draws. I would much rather see us get 30 wins and, lose a couple games and compete in the other cup competitions than just winning the league and going invincible. I think it's a great achievement to do it. I think it's really difficult. Obviously, Preston did it back at the end of the 19th century as well. That was a far, far different era than when Arsenal did it, but it has been done twice. And for me, we're 4 points ahead of Arsenal. For me, I've said the whole season, and I stick to this, Arsenal are our primary title rivals. I think Liverpool are good under Arne Slot. They've started well. They did have a bit of a hiccup, obviously, losing at home to Forest. But just looking here at the table, goals for Manchester City have scored 19. We've started incredibly. Going forward, we got a lot of goals. I'm loving the fact that the likes of John Stones, Gvardiol are chipping in with amazing goals as well. That goal from Gvardiol was outrageous. Top corner from like 20 yards. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. That's what I want to see. I want to see goals from all angles. Erling Haaland wasn't really in the game yesterday. Craig Dawson was man marking him. There was 2 centre-backs on him at times, and he really struggled to even get a chance. I think he had less than 0.01 XG. He struggled, but at the end of the day, when we scored that goal, Matheus Nunes, unbelievable from him off the bench, by the way. He runs back, makes an amazing tackle. I think it was on Bueno or I can't remember which Wolves player. Amazing tackle, wins it back, pings the ball out. It goes over to Haaland. Haaland, great touch, great control. He actually slides Nunes back in. And Nunes has a great shot. I think he got saved onto the bar. Off that flurry of corners, we score the winning goal. So for me, Nunes looking amazing. Looking really good off the bench. I think he was really good against Watford. He obviously got the assist, I believe, for Haaland at West Ham. Maybe he needs a chance in the first team. Maybe he'll get a start in the Champions League midweek. I'd like to see that. But yeah, I'm liking him. I'm liking it a lot. Now, I'm not going to push this invincible agenda because I don't think it's possible at all. I really don't think it'll happen. I think even if we have an amazing season and win the league, we'll probably still have a sticky patch, lose an unexpected game against, a Leicester. We could go away from home there and get a red card. We all saw Arsenal at the weekend against Bournemouth, and we're not Arsenal, I know that. But all it takes is one rash tackle, one silly decision, and it can cost you a game. I have got a whiteboard, and I've said on the whiteboard, in reality, we're not going to go invincible. Arsenal had 12 draws when they were invincible. City want to win cups, you want to compete on all fronts, and that sometimes costs you a few points in the league. And it's not that important. Obviously, it'd be an amazing achievement, but it's not. Pep's not there going, we're invincible. If he got 25, 30 games in, and he hadn't lost a game by that point, I think it might start to come into his head. But I don't think it's a priority at all. The reason I put maybe question mark is teams absolutely fear Manchester City. And I'm not saying they haven't always feared us. But in the final moments of the game, I came out the game yesterday at Wolves and I heard an old bloke say, we knew that was going to happen. I could have told you that was happening from 85 minutes. Teams fear Manchester City and we're getting these late goals. Arsenal came to the Etihad for a first win there in nearly 10 years. They're winning with 10 men, 2-1 into the 98th minute and John Stones pops up and scores. Yesterday, obviously we weren't going to lose that game, but teams fear us. Wolves must have been thinking, surely not. And then we get the goal and it's like they've spoken it into existence. For me, as I said, teams will they'll feel, it's like Real Madrid in the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? We've been there before. Everyone says they're just inevitable. They'll get that late goal. I feel like Manchester City are like that now in the Premier League. 30 games left, though, is a hell of a lot of games. We've got a lot of tricky games left. I think Liverpool away, United away, Arsenal away, Spurs away. Brighton away, there's a lot of even Villa away, some very, very difficult games. And personally, I think we will lose one of those games. I don't know which one. We'll probably lose one of them games. If we stack in a load of draws, though, we're still invincible. That's the problem with invincibility in inverted commas. Sometimes it's not good. You could draw 38 games and get relegated and you'd be invincible. Do you know what I mean? That's what I've always been told. So I'm not sure. I don't think we should ever think about that too much. I personally don't think we'll do that. And it's not a priority at all. The difficulty we have as well is obviously KDB's been injured. He is on his way back. Yeah, De Bruyne has started training again and hopefully will feature soon. No Rodri, though, for the entire season. Now, if a team is ever going to do anything amazing like that, you'd need Rodri. Do you know what I mean? You can't be missing your best player for the whole season. The goals as well. Erling Haaland's been stacking them in. As I said, he's not scored, to be fair, in 3 games. But as I said, goals are coming from all over the pitch, which is what you want now. You don't want just Haaland scoring, but Alvarez did go. And we didn't really replace him. Do you know what I mean? He did provide quite a lot of goals for us, and we didn't replace him. Overall, though, it's a very good start. Do not get me wrong. 20 points from a possible 24. Unbeaten. The issue is we are conceding quite a few goals. I made a video a couple of weeks ago saying, do we have a bit of a problem? And we did leak a very early goal to Wolves. But for me, it was just an amazing, amazing ball yesterday and a great finish. So we can't really complain about that, in my opinion. I think we played pretty poorly overall, but we got the 3 points. That is literally all that matters on paper. We get the 3 points and we're a point off the top. What I will do, though, is I will look ahead at, the games coming up and just let you know what I think about them. So next up, obviously, Sparta Prague in the Champions League, our 3rd game, Wednesday. That should be straightforward. I don't know a lot about Prague. I'll do a little bit of research into them, obviously, before the vlog and watching the game. But for me, I don't think that should be a problem. That should, no offence to Prague fans, Sparta Prague fans, that should be a straightforward win, and that should be 3-4-0, and we should be resting a few players in that game as well. It should not be a difficult game. Sounds very arrogant and ignorant, to be honest, to Prague, because I don't know a lot about them, but it should be straightforward. If you want to win these competitions, compete on all 4 fronts, you have to be comfortably winning a game like that. Then Southampton at home, no excuses here again. They're going to come and park it, 3 p.m. on Saturday. It's not going to be the most entertaining of watches, in my opinion, but we have to just get all 3 points. No argument about it at all. Southampton, just like Wolves, have a singular point this season. They are dead bottom, terrible goal difference. And to be honest, we don't want to just be winning here. We want to be winning comfortably. We want to be getting a few goal difference, getting some more goals for Haaland because he hasn't scored in a few games. We've got to be beating Southampton comfortably. And then that's where things get tricky. Tottenham in the Carabao Cup. That will be one hell of a difficult game because Ange Postecoglou's been pretty inconsistent with Tottenham this season. But I thought they looked very, very good against West Ham. Son's backfiring, and they've not won a cup competition since 2008. So for me, this is going to be a big game for them. Do you know what I mean? They are probably going to start a fairly strong side. Obviously, they've got Europe as well in the Europa League, but for me, that will be a very difficult game. 8:15 at Tottenham. We didn't have too many issues there last season. 2 wins, but it's still one hell of a difficult place to go, for us particularly. And I'm not sure about that one. I really fear we could get knocked out of the Carabao Cup in that game. Then another long travelling game, Bournemouth away, Saturday 3 p.m. Now Arsenal have just lost there. Do you know what I mean? It's a difficult game. Bournemouth have started really decently. 11 points I think they've got from 8. Not sure how obviously they'll get on this weekend, but that will be a hard game. Only 1-0 last year. We struggled a little bit and just about stabbed it over the line. That will be hard. Hopefully an early goal. Hopefully it is straightforward, but I could easily see it not being. Then Sporting in the Champions League. That'll probably be a difficult game. Amorim in charge. Gyökeres firing goals in left, right and centre. That will probably be difficult, and I would not be surprised if we struggled a little bit. I think we'll win, but, like a 2-1 kind of job. I think that could be hard. And then the last game before the next international break, Brighton away, and that'll be a very difficult game. We have never really had that many problems with Brighton, but this season they're looking good. They are looking good. Hertzler in charge, new manager, but they're still the same Brighton. They're looking good. And for me, they've just won away at Newcastle. They're surprising everyone again a bit. I think everyone expected a bit of a drop-off. For me, I think that'll be a very difficult game. 5:30, just before the international break. I'd hope we can get that one over the line, but it's definitely a tricky place to go, and don't put it past Brighton to do something in that game. But for me, as I said, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's a great start. Unbeaten in all comps. We cannot complain about it at all. But just keep your heads at a normal level. Don't get them too big. Don't get too ahead of yourselves. Just relax. 8 games in the Premier League. There's 30 to go. By no means is this, our title. We're second in the league. It's going to be a long old race. It always is. But this invincibility thing, I've seen a lot of people ask about it. We are the only invincible team in the 92 in England. Obviously in the Prem as well. 8 games in. Club record for games unbeaten in the Premier League. I believe it's 32 games now. But relax. We're doing really well. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And most of all, up the Blues. We're doing really well. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.